Alrighty, week 10 is here, and we are in the good old state of Mississippi as the Georgia Bulldogs take on Ole Miss, the Ole Miss Rebels, as Georgia is led by quarterback Alonzo Sims with 3,718 yards, uh, passing yards, 38 touchdowns, and only 6 interceptions. His go-to wide receiver, Damarian Marley with 1,043 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns, as Ole Miss is led by quarterback Kyle Owens with 2,986 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. And his wide receiver duo of Corey Morris and Lee Boone, with both having over 800 receiving yards. And as we head to the coin toss, Georgia calls heads, and it is tails. And Ole Miss elects to receive the ball, wanting to make a statement early in the game. As Isaiah Brasher kicks the ball off to the 10-yard line, and Ryan Campbell is able to return the kickoff to 23 yards. It's a 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 33. Kyle Owens, he hands the ball off to Christian Horn, and Christian Horn is instantly met by the defense as he gets dropped for -2 yards. And there is already an injury as offensive lineman Felton Curry, he is on the ground and is waiting for the trainers to help him up. He's going to be looked at. 2nd and 12, Ole Miss 31. And once again, Kyle Owens pitches the ball to Christian Horn as he was running to the left side of the field, and he gets dropped for -3 yards. 3rd and 15 on Ole Miss 28. And Kyle Owens, he drops back the pass, but it is a delayed draw to Christian Horn, and all the defenders is running backwards, and Christian Horn is just running past them. He stiffs arm one guy, and he has a hole, and he gets running. He gets 20 yards. He's getting 25, and he gets pushed out for a 30-yard gain. 1st and 10 on Georgia's 42. Already, and then Kyle Owens drops back to pass as it is a designed quarterback run, and Joe Robinson is there, and then he punches the ball out, and the ball pops up, and it bounces into Joe Robinson's arms. And he returns it for -3 yards. It is 1st and 10, Georgia's ball. So it'll be 1st and 10 on Georgia's 44. After that, Kyle Owens fumble. Alonzo Sims hands the ball off to James Meir. James Meir, he's able to find 2 yards. 2nd and 8 on Georgia's 46. Alonzo Sims hands the ball off to Daniel James, and Daniel James is able to find only 1 yard. 3rd and 7 on Georgia's 47. Alonzo Sims hands the ball off to Daniel James. Daniel James goes between the tackle and the guard, and he is able to find only 5 yards. 4th and 2 on Ole Miss 48. And Coach Dogwood, he sends out the offense on 1st and 2 on Ole Miss 48. And before the ball is hiked, there is flags on the play. It is a false start on Jordan Anderson. Drops back 5 yards, and the punt team comes out to punt the ball. 4th and 7 on Georgia's 47, Christian Celestine. He's able to punt the ball 37 yards, and Ryan Campbell's back there to return the punt, and it is a fair catch. 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 16. Kyle Owens motions Lee Boone over. Boone comes around, and Kyle Owens hands the ball to Lee Boone, and Lee Boone is only able to find 1 yard. 2nd and 9, Ole Miss 17. Kyle Owens struts back to pass, and he's instantly chased by the defenders, and he's taken down by Jamal Bush for a 7-yard sack loss. 3rd and 16 on Ole Miss 10. Kyle Owens hands the ball off to Christian Horn. Christian Horn goes up the middle for a 4-yard gain. I don't think there's been a pass so far. 4th and 12 on Ole Miss 14. The punt team comes out. Rage Anger comes out, and he punts the ball for a nice 56-yard punt. Demarion Marley returns the punt for 16 yards before getting taken down. It is a 1st and 10 on Georgia's 46. Alright, Alonzo Sims pitches the ball to Daniel James. Daniel James is able to find 13 yards going to the right side before he gets pushed out of bounds. And there is a wide receiver on the ground. It is Demarion Marley. He is on the ground. He is hurt. He's getting checked out by the training staff. It is 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 41. Alonzo Sims hands the ball off to James Muir. James Muir is able to go up the middle for 2 yards. 2nd and 8 in Ole Miss 39. Alonzo Sims hands the ball off and he goes up the middle to Daniel James for 2 yards. 3rd and 6 on Ole Miss 37. They come out in a T formation with James Muir and Daniel James. And the ball is faked to James Muir and hands the ball off to Daniel James. James Muir picks the ball. Daniel James gets the ball and he gets instantly met by the defensive line for a negative 3-yard loss. The defense was not fooled. 4th and 9 on Ole Miss 40. And they bring out the kick team. This is going to be a 57-yard attempt for a field goal. Isaiah Brescher pulls up and he kicks the ball and it is getting pushed to the right and it is no good. It is short and it is right, unfortunately. So he misses the kick. 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 47. Kyle Owens hands the ball off to Christian Horn. And Christian Horn is able to go up the middle and find 8 yards before getting taken down. 2nd and 2 on Georgia's 45. A pass still has not been made in the game. With 3 minutes and 36 seconds left. Kyle Owens hands the ball off to Christian Horn. And Christian Horn makes the first guy miss and he stiff arms another as he's able to find 15 yards for the first down. 1st and 10 on Georgia's 30. And Kyle Owens play actions, and he has Johnny Ellsworth wide open, but he just throws it, and he's over Johnny Ellsworth's head for an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 on Georgia's 30. And Kyle Owens hands the ball off to Austin Lewandowski. Lewandowski is able to bounce it out, and he has a hole, but here comes a defender, and he punches the ball out. It is a fumble. And the ball's on the ground, and Grayson McGee jumps on the ball, and he's able to return it for 3 yards. Grayson McGee of Georgia returns the ball for 3 yards. 1st and 10 on Georgia's 30, Georgia's ball. Alrighty, and then 1st and 10 on Georgia's 30, and before the play is snapped, there are flags on the play. It's a neutral zone infraction on Ross Poole of Ole Miss. 1st and 5 on Georgia's 35. Alonzo Sims drops back to pass. He's looking for Ronnie Fredericks, and the ball is tipped at the line, is incomplete. 2nd and 5 on Georgia's 35. Alonzo Sims hands the ball off to James Muir. James Muir goes up the middle, and he's able to find 7 yards before getting taken down. 1st and 10 on Georgia's 42. Alonzo Sims drops back to pass. and he's getting chased by the defender instantly, and he's trying to make something out of nothing, and he gets sacked by Ryan Whittingham for a 3-yard loss. 2nd and 13 on Georgia's 39. Alonzo Sims hands the ball to Daniel James. Daniel James finds nothing up the middle, so he bounces it out, and he's able to find something out of nothing for a 4-yard gain. 3rd and 9 on Georgia's 43. Alonzo Sims hands the ball off to James. Once more up the middle, and is a 2-yard gain, as it is a 4th and 7 on Georgia's 45 as time runs out. The end of the first quarter. And Christian Selstein punts the ball for 55 yards for a touchback. It's 1st and 10 on the Ole Miss 20. Kyle Owens drops back to pass as he's looking for Austin Lewandowski. He finds him, and Lewandowski has some room, and he gets taken down for a 13-yard gain. 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 33. Kyle Owens drops back to pass, and he looks for Lewandowski once more again, and he finds him for a 9-yard gain before getting pushed out of bounds. 2nd and 1 on Ole Miss 42. Kyle Owens drops back to pass. He pump fakes it to Lewandowski, and he throws it to his trusty wide receiver, Lee Boone, for a 21-yard bomb before it gets taken down for a 21-yard gain. 1st and 10 on Georgia's 37. Kyle Owens drops back to passes and looking for Lee Boone, but he's double covered, and it is an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 on Georgia's 37. Kyle Owens drops back to pass into the quarterback draw, and he slides for 5 yards. 3rd and 5 on Georgia's 32. Kyle Owens drops back to pass, and it's a play action, and he sees Corey Morris going to the corner of the end zone, and he throws it, and it is off the fingertips of Corey Morris, just an inch more, and he would have completed it, but it falls incomplete. It's 4th and 5 on Georgia's 32. 11 minutes and 22 seconds left in the half. As they bring out the kick team, Titus Brown lines up for a 49-yard field goal. And Titus Brown puts it up, and it's straight down the middle, no questions asked, and it is good. 49-yard field goal. It is 3-0 Ole Miss. As the lineup for the kickoff, Titus Brown kicks off to the end zone. And Mike Skinner is able to return it from the end zone. And he has some blockers. He gets past the 30-yard line, and he has more blockers. And then it's just him and the kicker. And he's able to stiff arm the kicker to the ground. And he is able to go all the way for a 102-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. As the players get past Mike Skinner, he is actually holding his hamstring. Mike Skinner is hurt, holding his hamstring. We'll have an update later. Isaiah Brasher puts up the extra point. It is good. Isaiah Brasher kicks the ball for a touchback. It's 1st and 10 on the Ole Miss 25. Kyle Owens drops back to pass, and he throws it to Corey Morris, and his falls incomplete as there flags on the play. It is a holding call on Kason Greco. So they drop back even more. It's 1st and 20 on Ole Miss 15. Kyle Owens hands ball to Austin Lewandowski. Lewandowski is able to get past the first line of scrimmage, and he gets stiffs arm another guy. He gets taken down for a 14-yard gain. It is 2nd and 6, Ole Miss 29. Kyle Owens drops back to pass, and he finds nobody open, and Jamal Bush just jumps on Kyle Owens' back and takes him down for a -4-yard sack. 3rd and 10 on Ole Miss 25. Kyle Owens drops back to pass. He's looking for Lewandowski. Tries to and he throws it, and it is just throws it out of bounds, incomplete. It is 4th and 10 on Ole Miss 25. Rage Anger punts the ball. It is a 53-yard punt. James Meir returns it for 7 yards. 1st and 10 on the Georgia's 29. Alonzo Sims hands the ball off to James Meir. James Meir able to go up the middle for a 7-yard gain before getting taken down. 2nd and 3 on Georgia's 36. Alonzo Sims hands the ball off to James Meir, and he is lucky to even get back to the line of scrimmage for a 0-yard gain. 3rd and 3 on Georgia's 36. Alonzo Sims is a play action. It is actually a quarterback misdirection counter, but it is instantly taken down and is a negative 3-yard loss. 4th and 6 on Georgia's 33. Christian Celestine punts the ball. It's a 47-yard punt. Ryan Campbell returns the punt for 18 yards. 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 38. Kyle Owens hands the ball off to Christian Horn. Christian Horn, he's able to find 6 yards before he gets tripped up. 2nd and 4 on Ole Miss 44. Kyle Owens hands the ball off to Christian Horn, and flags are thrown as he's fined for 8 yards. But it is a illegal formation. Of course, that is accepted. It is 2nd and 9, Ole Miss 39. Kyle Owens drops back to pass, and he dumps it to Lee Boone. Lee Boone makes the first guy miss, but is met by the cavalry, and he's taken down for 6 yards. 3rd and 3 on Ole Miss 45. Kyle Owens motions Corey Morris over, and is an end around, and Corey Morris is able to find 9 yards for the 1st and 10 on Georgia's 46. Kyle Owens drops back to pass. It is a play action. He's looking for Corey Morris, and he's going towards the sideline, and he throws it, and Victor Bailey is there to intercept the ball for a 2-yard gain before getting pushed out of bounds. It's 1st and 10 on Georgia's 48 after that interception. Alonzo Sims drops back to pass, and he tries to dump it off to Ronnie Fredericks, and Ronnie Fredericks just turns his head as it just hits him in the chest and falls to the ground. Incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 on Georgia's 48. Alonzo Sims drops back to pass, and he throws it to Eric Winkler, and it is false, incomplete, as the defender pats it down. There's flags on the play. It is a defensive holding on Tom Gilchrist. Of course, the penalty is accepted. 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 47. Alonzo Sims pitches the ball to Daniel James, and Daniel James is pushed out of bounds for a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6, Ole Miss 49. Alonzo Sims hands the ball off to James Meir. James Meir goes up the middle for a 7-yard gain. 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 36. Alonzo Sims, play action to Daniel James, and he's looking for Sean Richardson. He finds Sean Richardson crossing the middle, and he gets taken down for a 24-yard gain. 1st and 10 on the Ole Miss 12. With 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half. Alonzo Sims drops back to pass. As is another play action, he pumps it once, and he dumps it off to Eric Winkler. Eric Winkler has some blockers, and he trucks a guy, and he dives for a 12-yard touchdown. 13-3, Georgia. The extra point is up, and it is good. Isaiah Brasher kicks the ball for a touchback. It's 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 25. Kyle Owens drops back to pass. He just dumps it off to Lee Boone. Lee Boone is able to find 4 yards. 2nd and 6, Ole Miss 29. And even before the play begins, there are flags on the play. It's a false start on Connor Murray. And as the offense were jogging back to the huddle, tight end Jonathan Wright just falls to the ground and holding his leg as he is taking off the field to get looked at by the trainers for a non-contact injury. 2nd and 11, Ole Miss 24. Kyle Owens draws back the pass as he sees nobody opening, but he sees one of his receivers down the field, and he throws the ball. And Rashad Tiggs comes out of nowhere and intercepts the ball with one hand, and he returns it for 4 yards before taking down. It's 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 40. Alonzo Sims draws back the pass, and he's looking for Tobias Brewer. He's coming down the middle for an 18-yard gain before getting taken down, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Alonzo Sims hands the ball off to Daniel James. Daniel James is able to stiff arm a defender, and he's able to find 11 yards. Timeout, Georgia. 1st and 10 on the Ole Miss 11. Alonzo Sims hands the ball to Daniel James again. He's only able to find 2 yards. Timeout, Georgia. 1 remaining. 2nd and 8, Ole Miss 9. Alonzo Sims drops back the pass as he's looking for Eric Winkler, and Eric Winkler is able to look for the ball to catch it, but it is blown up instantly, and he's not able to complete the pass as it falls incomplete after a huge hit. It's 3rd and 8 on Ole Miss 9. Alonzo Sims drops back the pass, and he goes to the opposite side of the field for Ronnie Fredericks, and the ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. 4th and 8 on Ole Miss 9. And they bring up the kick team. Isaiah Brasher comes for a 26-yard field goal. And he puts it up, and it is straight down the middle. It is good. Isaiah Brasher kicks off the ball and is a touchback. And there is a Georgia player on the ground. It is a cornerback. It's Josh Whiteley, who is injured, is getting looked at the trainers. 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 25. 1 minute and 37 seconds left. Can they do something with this? Kyle Owens drops back to pass. He finds Corey Morris on a slant, and his goes complete for 5 yards. As they hurry it up, 2nd and 5 on Ole Miss 30. Kyle Owens drops back to pass, dumps it off to Johnny Ellswood for a screen, and it gets instantly blown up for a negative 2-yard loss. Timeout, Ole Miss. 3rd and 7 on Ole Miss 28. Kyle Owens drops back to pass, and he's looking for Lewandowski, and it is thrown behind Lewandowski as it falls incomplete. 4th and 7 on Ole Miss 28. Rage Inger punts the ball for 53 yards. James Meyer calls for a fair catch. 1st and 10 on Georgia's 19. Alonzo Sims drops back to pass, and it is a go route to Alan Jackson, and he throws it, and it's just too far out as it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10 on Georgia's 19. Alonzo drops back to pass, and it's a screenplay. Daniel James grabs the ball, and he finds him some blockers, but it is just not enough as he gets pushed out of bounds for actually taken down. They call him down inbounds for a 20-yard gain as time expires. That is the first half. It is Georgia 17, Ole Miss 3. As we head back to the game for the second half, As Ole Miss comes back out, and it is Georgia's ball. As Ole Miss want to make that statement, but that statement still has not been made. Titus Brown kicks the ball off to the 8-yard line, and Victor Bailey returns the kickoff 23 yards. It is 1st and 10 on Georgia's 31. Alonzo Sims drops back to pass as he's looking for James Muir, and it falls incomplete as it's thrown at his ankles. 2nd and 10 on Georgia's 31. Alonzo Sims drops back to pass as he steps up to the pocket, and what you talk about, Willis is able to sack him for a 2-yard loss. 3rd and 12 on Georgia's 29. Alonzo Sims drops back to pass, as is a screenplay to Daniel James. And Daniel James is able to follow some blockers, as this time he has more blockers. And he's able to stiff arm one guy, and he's able to find 39 yards before getting taken down. It is a 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 32. Alonzo Sims drops back to pass, and it is a quarterback draw, and he's able to rush for 5 yards. 2nd and 5 on Ole Miss 27. Alonzo Sims, it's a quarterback misdirection counter, and is an 8-yard gain as before he slides down for a 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 19. Alonzo Sims drops back to pass. He finds Ronnie Fredericks for a 10-yard gain before he falls to the ground. 1st and goal, Ole Miss 9. Alonzo Sims drops back to pass, and he's looking for Eric Winkler. And Eric Winkler is not able to catch the ball, but there's flags on the play. It is illegal contact on Tom Gilchrist. It's a 1st and goal on Ole Miss 4. Alonzo Sims pitches the ball to Alex Burden. Alex Burden is able to climb the ladder and reaches over the plane for a 4-yard gain. 4-yard touchdown. It is 23-3. The extra point is up. It is good. 24-3. Isaiah Brasher kicks the ball to the 1-yard line. Ryan Campbell returns the kickoff for a 20-yard return. It is 1st and 10 to Ole Miss 21. Kyle Owens drops back to pass. It's incomplete to Christian Horn. 2nd and 10, Ole Miss 21. Kyle Owens drops back to pass. He's looking for Lee Boone in the corner of the sideline. He throws it, and it is a false incomplete. It's over his head. 3rd and 10 on Ole Miss 21. Kyle Owens hands the ball to Christian Horn. Christian Horn is able to go run off the tackle on the right side. He finds 7 yards. 4th and 3 on Ole Miss 28. Rage Anger punts the ball for a 38-yard punt. And James Meyer is able to return the kick, and he finds a small hole for a 16-yard gain. 1st and 10 on the 50-yard line. Alonzo Sims drops back to pass. He's looking for Eric Winkler. And he throws the ball, and the ball is batted down by the defender. It falls incomplete. 2nd and 10 on the 50-yard line. Alonzo Sims hands the ball off to Daniel James. Daniel James gets stuffed instantly for a 3rd and 11 on Georgia's 49. Alonzo Sims hands the ball to James Muir. James Muir only is able to find 3 yards. 4th and 8 on Ole Miss 48. Christian Selstein punts the ball for 37 yards. Ryan Campbell returns the punt for a 0-yard gain. 1st and 10 on Ole Miss 11. And Kyle Owens hands the ball to Austin Lewandowski. Austin Lewandowski is instantly met for a -1-yard gain. 2nd and 11 on Ole Miss 10. Kyle Owens hands the ball off to Christian Horn. Christian Horn is able to go up the middle for 5 yards. 3rd and 6 on Ole Miss 15. Kyle Owens drops back to pass, and it's an incomplete pass to Brian Campbell. It's a 4th and 6 on Ole Miss 15. Rage Anger punts the ball for 46 yards. It is a quality punt, but James Meir is able to return the punt, and he has blockers, and then it's just him in the punter, and he gets taken down, but it is a 52-yard gain. It's a first and goal on Ole Miss 9. Alonzo Sims hands the ball to Daniel James. Daniel James is able to rush up the middle for 8 yards. Second and goal on Ole Miss 1. Alonzo Sims hands the ball off to James Meir. James Meir is able to jump up and reach over the plane for a 1-yard touchdown. It is 30-3, Georgia. Isaiah Brasher puts up the extra point, and it is good. And that is where I will call the game, because unfortunately it does not get any better than that, unfortunately. As for the rest of the third quarter, Titus Brown puts up a 50-yard field goal, which in the fourth quarter it is followed by a Georgia field goal, and then another Alonzo to Eric Winkler 30-yard touchdown, and then a garbage Kyle Owens to Lee Booth for a 56-yard touchdown. Ending the game 40-13, Georgia wins big.